Southern Cameroonians. This is King Ejo, the radical Pan-Africanist. 4 years. President Paul Biya declared war on Southern Cameroon on the 30th of November 2017. And we just passed that date. Today is actually the 1st of December 2020. So 4 years we'll be fighting this war. 3 years actively. Before we've been fighting, we've been involved with this war against La République du Cameroon for 4 years now. And what have we learned within these 4 years? What have we really learned? Our leaders who are at the front haven't learned anything. We, Southern Cameroonians, cannot win this war if our leaders cannot see eye to eye. We, Southern Cameroonians, don't have a chance to win in this war if our leaders do not see eye to eye. If our leaders cannot have discussions on how we can move forward. 2 names that stand out in this war of independence against La République du Cameroon, which is Joe Ayaba and Dr. Samuel Sako. Those 2 names, the soldiers on ground zero are fighting each other because of those 2 names, those 2 institutions. Those 2 names stand for 2 institutions that is supposed to be fighting for the liberation of the people of Southern Cameroon, not killing the people of Southern Cameroon. Now we have soldiers with guns on ground zero who are supposed to be fighting and destroying and eliminating and obliterating the forces of La République du Cameroon, which has so many military camps, military checkpoints inside Southern Cameroon, inside Northern Zone and Southern Zone. We haven't been able to eliminate the checkpoints, the military checkpoints, the military camps of La République du Cameroon inside Southern Cameroon, but we are spending all the time and effort to fight against 2 institutions that are supposed to be fighting for the people of Southern Cameroon. Now, as the soldiers on ground zero are fighting and killing each other. Meanwhile, they're supposed to be liberating Southern Cameroon by destroying the forces of La République du Cameroon. Something that people don't seem to understand. They don't seem to comprehend, they don't seem to understand. When a small nation is fighting a bigger nation like La République du Cameroon, La République du Cameroon is a bigger nation compared to Southern Cameroon. The only way forward is to be able to put ourselves together and stand for one cause, one goal, one way forward. Because we're not united, the chances of us defeating La République du Cameroon are slim. Very slim. I'm saying this truthfully and honestly, whether you like it or not. It's not about passion, negative passion that will win war. It's about understanding, logic, the art of war. Using your forces to fight against stronger force and defeating that stronger force. But what is happening inside Southern Cameroon is the fact that 2 institutions that are supposed to be fighting for the people are actually creating divide and conquer. They want to win the other institution, defeat the other institution. In the process of doing that, soldiers that are supposed to be fighting against like Republic Cameroon are now fighting among themselves. those who are fighting for Cho Ayaba, those who are fighting for the Sarko's interim government with Chris Anna. Where is that going to take us to? Do you think after 4 years, how many generals have been killed? Not even by the forces of Light Republic Cameroon, but within our own forces that are supposed to be eliminating, obliterating, they're supposed to be eradicating the forces of Light Republic Cameroon inside Southern Cameroon. How many checkpoints of military of Light Republic are inside Southern Cameroon? In Northern Zone, in Southern Zone, how many do you have? Yeah, in thousands. There are many. I don't even know how many there are. You go in every town, major town or major city inside Southern Cameroon, you have military camps all over, Light Republic military camps. And so long as you have those Light Republic military camps inside Southern Cameroon and our forces cannot attack them and destroy them, but spend more time and effort fighting other Southern Cameroonian soldiers who are under different um, organizations, who are other different military groups or groups that is supposed to be fighting for Southern Cameroon. Those are you spending that time and effort within a small nation, fighting each other and killing each other, calling this one a traitor, a enabler, this and that, to the point where there are Southern Cameroonians who are for one an independent Cameroon fighting against us. You see, we have created multiple divisions within Southern Cameroon. Those who are for Light Republic, Southern Cameroonians who are for Light Republic Cameroon, standing and fighting against us who are for Southern Cameroon, who are for Ambazonia. And then you have those who are Ambazonians who are supposed to be fighting against Light Republic for Cameroon. They are fighting against each other because they want their own group to be in control. But under that, you have leaders who have eaten money. Although Choayaba has, raised guns inside, he has put guns inside Southern Cameroon and has a good number of soldiers. But for 4 years, what has he achieved? Everything that we have accomplished, which is one goal, making sure that Southern Cameroon is ungovernable. That is all that we have achieved. And how have we achieved that? With the blood of over 40,000, or at least, let me say 20,000 to 40,000 who've been killed. With the blood of over 20 to 40,000 Southern Cameroonians who have been killed, and more will be killed. Yet we are not united. We want to achieve our dream, our purpose, our goal of seeing a free and independent Southern Cameroon, but we are divided. That division is not helping Southern Cameroon. It's not helping that small nation that is fighting against Light Republic Cameroon. That is not being supported by Nigeria. The government of Nigeria is actually against the creation of Southern Cameroon. And so they support Light Republic Cameroon. So we are a small nation that's caught in between two giants. And then we are spending more time and effort fighting against each other instead of trying to create a way forward of how we can actually liberate Southern Cameroon from Light Republic Cameroon. 4 years, 14 counties. None of them have been liberated. People have died. People are suffering. More division within Southern Cameroon. And one thing that actually stand out with the statement that was made by Cho Ayaba, he said, despite the delicate balance in winning the hearts and minds of an occupied people and neutralizing the in-house enemy, The outcome of any liberation movement is highly determined by the ability to completely and without remorse wipe out the cancerous in-house enemy. Cancerous in-house enemy. How would you wipe out the cancerous in-house enemy while trying to liberate Southern Cameroon from like Republic Cameroon, which is already inside Southern Cameroon? So you will spend more time, effort, money killing citizens of Southern Cameroonians, of Anglophone Cameroonians, because they don't agree with you, because or they're against your movement, because this other group is not aligned with this other group. Spending all that time and effort. Meanwhile, you could take a different route. With all the 4 years that has passed, if Cho Haiba had used his military forces to liberate some of the counties inside Southern Cameroon, concentrate on some of the counties inside Southern Cameroon, I'm quite sure he would have liberated more than 3 or 4 counties, which will actually give him an upper hand because people will see that, oh, he's actually doing something. And because he spent so much time fighting against Sako, fighting against, even before that, fighting against Sissoko Ayoktabe Julius, now fighting against Sako, and people are dying. Money is being spent creating multiple divisions. Meanwhile, he would have actually achieved more if he had gone a smarter way. But now he's creating the War Council, which will be launched in December 5th on Saturday to raise more money. That will actually have to bring in more guns. How is that? How will he achieve that? How many times have they tried to raise money and money is not being raised enough to sustain the war because of the division they have within Southern Cameroon? In what way are you going to encourage people to trust you in a point that they will give money to you to use to buy guns to go and kill probably brothers, cousins, whatever, because those brothers, cousins are not in agreement with what you're doing? We cannot fight among ourselves while trying to fight the enemy. That is the biggest mistake Southern Cameroonians, the leadership, all the leadership in Southern Cameroon, that's the biggest mistake they have done. And because of that, many lives of Southern Cameroonians are affected. Nobody trusts Dr. Samuel Sako, and nobody trusts, or even though they do have some people that do trust them, but majority do not trust Dr. Sako, and majority do not trust um, Dr. Ayabacho, meaning that the money he will raise will still not be enough to fight the revolution and win it. But if he is able to take some of that money and start somewhere in 1 or 2 counties and work with his soldiers to eliminate the forces of La Republique Cameroon in some of those counties, you pick and select and then control some of those territory, because for now, what Southern Cameroon need in order to defeat La Republique Cameroon is the ability to control their own territory. And you cannot control your own territory while you have soldiers, enemies within your territory. You can't. which is why we will not be able to win this war. With so much disunity among ourselves, so much distrust among ourselves, so much negative impact that is actually holding the revolution backward. We don't have an area where we can train more soldiers and fight the battle, but we can actually take certain counties with the forces that he has on ground zero. Instead of fighting with Dr. Samuel Sako and the restoration forces, he should fight, select certain counties, and have complete control by eliminating all the forces in those counties. You do that, you change the atmosphere because people will see that you are capable. But as for now, none of the leaders have shown that they are capable enough, because what they have accomplished together, which is making sure that Southern Cameroon is ungovernable. But having Southern Cameroon ungovernable doesn't mean that we will win the war. It just means that it's more difficult for Liberty Cameroon to control Southern Cameroon. Now we have to control Southern Cameroon by eliminating the forces of Liberty Cameroon inside Southern Cameroon and then pushing the war across the Mongo. You see, so long as French Cameroonian citizens are not feeling the heat of war in their own nation, they will never speak against stopping the war inside Southern Cameroon. They will never speak. You had a few that are speaking, but those few is not enough to stop the war inside Southern Cameroon. But if you control Southern Cameroon by eliminating the forces inside Southern Cameroon and pushing the war across the Mongo, now you have a bigger leverage where the citizens of Southern Cameroon, of Liberty Cameroon, would force their own government to negotiate. But so long as Liberty Cameroon think and believe that they have control over what is happening inside Southern Cameroon, and so long as the war is not spread across the Mongo, we cannot win this war. In actuality, to win this war, Joe Ayebayo can do this. Simple. Concentrate on few of the counties and control those counties, where the forces of Liberty Cameroon would not be able to penetrate in those counties because you have absolute control over those counties. And when Southern Cameroons see that in the process, then they will believe in your dream. For 4 years, we've been fighting this war, but we've not been able to change the mindset of those who are against Ambazonia. I'm talking of those English Cameroonians who are against the idea of Ambazonia. But so long as you can see the possible winning of this war, many English Cameroonians will support the dream of Ambazonia. But 4 years, what have we achieved? Not that much. This war can be won by any. It can be won by Southern Cameroon. It can be won by Liberty Cameroon. But whoever is to win this war will have to re-strategize and rethink, outthink Liberty Cameroon, or Liberty will have to re-outthink Southern Cameroonians, without which Southern Cameroon will never be restored. So long as we have ridiculous frontline leaders who are only fighting with their egos to prove that they are superior over the other. In that process, causing more lives of Southern Cameroonians than freedom. This is King Ejo.